Good morning, everybody. It's that time of the day. I like to come out here for a bit before I actually work or go to the gym. And it just really wakes me up, gives you some energy, the sun, the wind. I am a bit like off today. Yesterday was a very, very intense day, but it was also a powerful lesson, such a powerful lesson that I'm about to share with you guys right now. So you're not gonna wanna miss this. Check this out. You know, I used to be a guy that did not, or person, I guess you could say, person, man, woman, that I was never really a big fan of sunsets or sunrises or things like that. It just didn't really faze me. But lately, I've been practicing being present into what's, here, right now. And it's a different experience, I'll say that. But I digress. Anyways, so for those of you who are new to this channel, my name is Jaime Behar, and I will be dropping a video every single day this entire year to show you my path from $0 to $1 million a month in my business, and also to share with you that everything and anything you want to accomplish is 100% possible. Now, I have gone through so many things, just like all of us have, right? I've been on this path for many, many years to become the best version of myself. And it's interesting because we learn so many things. Every single year, there's more lessons to be learned. I'm off to one of those starts again this year. Every single year I ask myself, like, man, I don't know what's gonna happen this year. Like, what's gonna be different? What am I gonna learn? Who am I gonna become? And I'm going into this year not completely sure, right? Which I'm usually not. I know who I am today. I know the work I've done. I know what I went through the last couple of years, every single year, and my transitions and my identity shifting. And but every year I'm not sure, right? But I constantly seek. I have a mentor right now who is a mentor and consultant, and he's also helping us on the business to really scale it to $1 million a month. He has been able to do that with a very similar offer, just like mine, and they hit about 800,000 in a month. The only reason why they did not hit $1 million was because of capacity of actually fulfilling the service. And so luckily, we actually have the partners to be able to fulfill at a way bigger scale. So hitting $1 million a month, he's like, there's really no doubt in my mind that we can get you there. We've pretty much gotten to a point now where a lot of the key players that were in his company are now with my company. And so it's been a stressful last several months, as you guys can imagine. Lost a lot of money, trying to optimize things, trying to just dial things in. And so we are so freaking close. Yesterday, I had a conversation with him for about an hour, super early in the morning. It was like 7 in the morning. I was at the gym and he hits me up and he's like, hey, are you up? Yeah, he's like, okay. He's like, you mind if we talk? Like, just clear, straight, not holding back. And I was like, yeah, I mean, let's do it. Like, what's up? So he's like, okay. He's like, I just want to be blunt with you. It's interesting when you're going to share something with somebody, and you're going to be direct because you love them, like, you get to be vulnerable and like really share that. And that's exactly how he started. He's like, I'm here because I want to help you. I want to see you win. I know you can win. I see what you guys have, but I also want to be very blunt because I want you to win. And so if that's okay, do I have your permission to like really just go there? And I was like, yeah, for sure. Like, talk to me. Like, what's going on? What do you see? One of the things that came up was that we have a specific employee contractor that has been helping us a lot with the tech side of the business, right? From automations, emails, SMS. The position is pretty much called a revenue operational position. And so I at first was not fully clear of that position. I saw it more as a tech side of a position where like you just set up automations and things. And I came to realize yesterday that that position is actually 10 times more important than I even realized it was. He was like, dude, this position is probably the most important position of the entire company because you can have a beast of a sales team. You can have the best media buyer and the best creatives, but if this site's not on point, it breaks everything. So you might still get some closes, you still might get some revenue, but like to really scale it to that level, like this position is like very pivotal. And so we had this guy who's been running this stuff. He pretty much told me, my consultant, my friend, he's like, he's not doing the job. Like, he's half-assing it, still not complete with the things we asked him for. There's certain things in here we asked for a month ago and they're still not done. He's got to go. And I was like, okay. And this guy that he's asking me to let go he's a friend. He's a guy that I met a couple of years ago. We've become good friends, and he's done good for me in the sense of not just business, but as a person. And so I was like, it is what it is. Talk to me, tell me more. And so it gets to the point where he ends up coaching me really on my leadership. And it really came down to the fact, he's like, look, there comes a time and a point where like you get to like really put your foot down as to what your boundaries are, what your expectations are, and the culture of the company. At the end of the day, like, this guy doing this is a leadership issue, right? It's a culture issue. Because if he's doing it, there's probably other people within the company that are doing the exact same thing. And I was like, okay, yeah, I could definitely see that. And so what do? I'm like, well, I got to take full ownership, right? I'm on the top. Like, if this is happening, it's because I'm letting it slide. And I started seeing all these things get slid under the rug in the last several months, in the last year, from different employees. Some people do it a lot less, but there's some that like, they just don't, and I keep letting it slide. And he's like, look, when I was building and scaling that company, there was times where like I literally made some employees cry. Not because I was like talking shit to them or insulting them, but I was just very straightforward, and I pretty much would straight up just tell them like, if you don't want to be here, get out. Like, he was like, you know, some of my friends would call me, and people that I worked with, they were like, you're like the enforcer. Like, nothing gets by him. And so he's like, I've had to like really learn to kind of dial it back a little, in the sense of like, how can I still enforce the rules and the culture of like what we expect from everybody, but not come off as a dick. And so I've actually been on the other side of the spectrum, where I'm a lot more passive. I speak and I evoke to what I believe the company can create, and I tell this to everybody, but I let a lot of things slide. And so I thought about that. I'm like, man, if I let all these things slide from my employees or contractors or people that I work with, like, what else am I letting slide within me? And so it got to a point where like I had to realize like I have to make the tough choices, where it's not personal. I get to recognize that, and like we get to recognize this as people, like whether it's in business or in whatever we're trying to build with our friends or you know, anybody, is that when you have a vision, when you have boundaries, when you have like your ground rules in a sense of like who you are and what you believe in, you get to like really hold down on that and 10x on that, because if you can't enforce it yourself, your own rules, your own discipline as to like what you expect, then who will? And so, long story short, we're letting go of this guy. My friend goes like, I mean, both these people are my friends, but my consultant, he's like, look, man, I love you. I want to see you win. And this has to get done. I want to get to that point, because if not, like, this company might not exist in a few months. Some of these things have to change rapidly, including you, in the way you lead and in the way you stand your ground as to like what expectations you have from everybody. If everybody's not on the same page and functioning towards that same vision, but the culture of like what is expected in the company, it's going to fall apart at some point or another, or there's going to be cracks as you're scaling. And so he's like, look, I'm going to take over this position for now, temporarily, because I got this on lockdown. I know how this works. We'll do this for a few months as we're scaling and closing deals. We'll bring somebody in to take on this position, because it's really a full-time role. I was like, okay, great. You know, I appreciate it, blah, blah, blah. It really got me to really look within, to see like, where else am I holding back? Where else am I not speaking my truth? What has me still not speak up? Like, what has me not tell people like, hey, these are the rules. These are the expectations. You can't perform this way. I love you, but you gotta go. If you can't do this, then maybe this is not for you. I've been told that so many times, you know, in the last several years, like whether I had a job or I was in business or in any other type of coaching programs that I was in or stuff, like they would literally tell me like, hey, if this might not be for you, right? Maybe you're too smart for this. Maybe you got other things going on in your mind. Maybe you're too distracted. Maybe there's all kinds of things happening. But if we aren't able to identify those things individually, then we're going to continue operating from that same place. It's interesting because I had literally been having these conversations with some of my key people the last few weeks, because I can sense that that's what was happening. And so I started already going towards that direction. But having this conversation with him yesterday, like really got me to be like, I need to take this shit to a whole nother fucking level. And so like, how can I lead a team, not just to like as a dictator, but as a powerful, loving leader that can show people that like, hey, I care about you. I care about the customers. I care about the clients, and I want to make this win no matter what. So if we're not on the same page, it's not going to happen. The crazy part is, this is what's crazy. I hope you guys are still hearing this. Like, you're going to want to hear this. By the end of the day yesterday, I have 2 people on my sales team right now, and we are looking to bring on a few more closers in the next couple of months. But I have one specific person on my sales team who's a setter. He is also another friend. He's probably part of the problem. And it's not even a problem if you think about it. It's not that it matters if I bring friends or not, but it's like, hey, you could be my friend, but these are the rules. You can be my friend, but this is what I expect. And so this guy's been really, this is a third guy, right? This guy on the sales team has been really struggling, like really dialing his shit in on the sales side. And so it's gotten to a point now where I'm like, had a conversation with him like a week ago, and I was like, dude, like something has to shift. Like, you're still the same person you were being. If there's any reason why I have not really put my phone down with him, was because I was like, you know what, we're not even getting enough leads yet, or enough quality leads to like have it be an issue. And I thought about it. I was like, why do I have to wait till that point, right? So I started having those conversations with him the last couple of weeks, and then check this out. He ends up sending a message in a general chat on our Slack channel yesterday, basically telling us like, hey, these are the days that I'm going to be off, which we allow people to do. People will usually request days. The sales team, we're a little bit more open with them, and they can take the days off because they're on commission. But this guy basically is going to take off about 50% of the days within a 30-day period and about 33% within a 60-day period. This is just after having that conversation with him about a week ago. And this is right after his last 2 days having very in-depth conversations as a whole through the entire company as to like what we expect, what's about to shift, what we're currently implementing to scale really quickly in the next 60 days. And then he sends that message. And I'm like, okay, I'll say this. He probably had these things planned already. But the question is like, how committed is he? And this is really what I want you guys to get from this video is like, how committed are you? How committed are you to what you're trying to accomplish? Because when you spread yourself too thin, there is no way you will ever accomplish the life of your dreams. Whatever that case is, like you have to go all in on that, because if not, you're never gonna make it. You guys think Kobe Bryant, was trying to be a chef while trying to become the best NBA player of all time? Hell no, there's no way. And so this guy has so many other things going on in his personal life that aren't even like money producing activities, because this guy's like struggling like financially. He's here because he knows the potential of what he can make. He knows he can make 20, 30 grand a month working here with me, but yet instead of applying all his time and energy into becoming the best version of himself as a closer or setter, he's doing all these other things. And now he's going to take 15 days off on a 30-day period. And this is in about 45 days when he's going to take this time off, which is the point where I believe we're going to start crushing it. And so I'm in a position right now where I'm like, damn, I need to fire this guy. I need to either let him go or let him choose out. There's no way it's going to work if he takes those many days off. Like there is just no way. If I only need one setter and he's our main setter, then I need to start looking for somebody else right now to take on that position for that period of time. But if that person's gonna come in, then why do I need him for? And so I'm in a very like weird position right now. But what I do know is I do know what I stand for. I do know what the vision is. And I get to have that conversation with him. So I'm actually gonna have a conversation with him today, and I'm gonna give him the opportunity to choose what he wants to do. And I'm also gonna say like, this is what I expect. If you can't meet those expectations, I love you, but you got to choose something different. And so what I really want you guys to take from this, again, I've said this a couple times, is that you get to be so committed, so crystal clear of your vision, your expectations, your boundaries as to what you want to accomplish. And I guarantee you guys, everybody will meet it. And the ones that don't will walk away out of your life. And if they do, then maybe they weren't meant to be in your life, because they weren't meant to respect you in the sense of like, you know what, Jaime has these expectations, and like if I respect them enough, like I'm gonna meet them. If I can't, then maybe I couldn't, maybe I shouldn't. This goes vice versa, right? Whether it's you with other friends or business partners or anything, in terms of how you respect their boundaries, but also people experiencing your boundaries. And I guarantee you guys, like this is one of the most important. There's a lot of very important things, right, to create the life of your dreams, but like this is one that's like been haunting me my entire life, right? I've told you guys, it's like I was the shy, quiet, fat kid growing up. I would not speak up. I would not say anything. And although I've gotten to a place in my life right now where like I can speak to the camera freely, like I'm not the same guy I was 20 years ago, but there are still some hesitation there for me where like I'm not willing to say what has to be said. And so I want you guys to know that it doesn't matter how far you've come, there's always going to be room for growth. As long as you are open to growing consistently, there's no doubt in my mind that you can accomplish that. That's all I got for you guys today, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.